Now, this video is not made to criticize anyone or make you feel like your choices make you fearful of your choices or anything, but I do want to make sure that you know what to look forward to and you are fully understanding some of the things that you are getting ready to venture off into. Hey, welcome back to Queen's Roots. I am your spiritual and metaphysical teacher, Queen Mother, and here on this channel I guide you along your spiritual journey to help you reconnect with who you really are and help you learn how to use those metaphysical tools so you can become the you desire. Now, in today's video we are going to dive into some tips that I have on how to make sure you are making the right decision before you start the occult or start New Age spiritualism, just to kind of how to know like what you're making the right decisions. So as of recently, I've been seeing a lot of these New Age religion to Christianity videos. As of late, I don't know if it's like a trend or what, but I've been seeing a lot of them, and I was most recently disappointed by one of my favorite YouTubers who went from New Age, well, I don't even know if she was New Age, but New Age or occult to Christianity, and she was kind of giving a lot of her reasons on why, and I wanted to come on and just make sure that I really provided you guys with the right tools on what to look for when you are making these decisions. Now, this video is not made to criticize anyone or make you feel like your choices make you fearful of your choices or anything, but I do want to make sure that you know what to look forward to and you are fully understanding some of the things that you are getting ready to venture off into. So the first thing that I want to cover, which is going to be very important: spiritualism is not the occult. Now, if you haven't checked out my video before on what spirituality is, make sure after this video you click that title card so that way you can check out what spirituality really is, because I'm not going to go into full depth because I've already done a video to cover it. But very briefly, spirituality is just the relationship between yourself and the divine. You are learning how to work and love yourself. That's the journey. Your whole life here is a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being in a human body, so there's no way to separate spiritualism from your day-to-day life. So spiritualism, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about spiritualism as the occult. The occult is very separate. It is very magical, whereas spiritualism is really about the day-to-day relationship with yourself. There are spiritual things that you can do, practices you can emphasize. All right, you guys, my rabbit, remember, is right behind this camera and he's making a lot of noise. But spiritualism is not the occult. There are things that you can do and you can bring within your spiritual practice that may cause like the occult to intertwine with it, and that's where a lot of those metaphysical tools will come into place. But spiritualism is not occultic, it's not demonic, it is not evil. It is truly, so the occult focuses on magical beliefs. The occult focuses on rituals and magical practices that may be intertwined with like certain religions. So the occult will give you like Wicca, Wiccan. I don't like to classify voodoo or hoodoo with the cult, but because they are typically grouped with them, then those go in there. You may have the cult may include satanic worshiping. You will have just typically all of those things that fall within the occult. People, what, the Illuminati is considered the occult? I think the Illuminati is considered the occult, right? Right. So typically all of those things will fall within the occult because there are so many similarities between the different religions, the different practices, and the actual occult, people just seem to blur them together. It's the esoteric occult, they just blur them all together, but they're not the same thing. They're not in the same groups. They just have a lot of the same practices or beliefs, okay? So I said that New Age's religion is not demonic. It's nothing to do with demons. A lot of people, and I'm going to get into this a little bit later, but a lot of people look at, I don't know why they're using demons. Like, the New Age has nothing to do with demons. It's nothing to do with religion. It is nothing about, the New Age teaches you about self-love. You're learning how to use your own beliefs, use your own power, using the resources that are around you, which does tap a little bit into some of the occult stuff, but it's not, like I said, it's not occult. But you're learning how to, you're empowering yourself. You've come here with the tools and the knowledge on how to live this life, how to manifest what you want, how to give and love and do all of these things, but you've forgotten it along the way. And so as you're going through the spiritual journey, you're relearning these things and you're learning how to implement them into your life. I don't see how anyone can take that and demonetize it. Like, loving yourself or believing in your ability to accomplish a goal is demonic. Like, I mean, unless you yourself consider yourself to be a demon, I think that's a very bad way to place negativity on who you are and criticize you. But that's my second thing. It's not demonic at all. Now, before you get started, and I'm going to say this regarding any religion, before you jump into any religion, you need to ask yourself 2 questions. I'm going to narrow it down to 2 questions. 1, why are you interested in this religion? 2, do you know the historical meanings and the history of this religion, and does it support, I guess it's 3, so it does it support your lifestyle? A lot of us are raised in religions. I was raised Christianity, and within Christianity, a lot of us are raised in this, and we don't know. Like, even to today, if I ask my grandmother why she's a Christian, does she know her Christian history, does she know all of this stuff? She doesn't know. All she know is she doesn't want to burn in hell. Jesus is the Lord and Savior. You better go to church. That's pretty much it. But when you get to diving into the history of these books, they don't know. And I think that's the biggest thing is with all religion, no matter if it's Christianity, if you are Buddhist, if you are a Muslim, a Jew, Hinduism, whatever it is that you choose to practice, I think it's really important that you know the history of your religion. Where did it come into play? Why are these rules so important? How did these things affect the people back then, and how does it change for us? A lot of the stuff that are written in these laws and these Bibles that we are expected to follow no longer fit our lifestyles in today's time, you know. So that's really just like, for instance, women are not viewed as property anymore. So, well, especially in the Western world, but women are not viewed as property. And in the Bible, women are property. They couldn't have these things. So that's why a lot of the women who did excel, and they did excel, that's why their stories are there. That's why they did excel, because that's why their stories are in the books, to show you, yes, a woman conquered this, a woman got this. And in reality, it's just kind of like, it's not the same now. So do your research. Really research. Make sure you are doing your research. Research is going to be the entire key. A lot of people get like the Bible and they just read it like, this is law, this is what it says, but a lot of it has like a lot of interpretations that you should probably follow up. You find like a lot of Christians who are like hardcore Christians, who are not like in the theology side of it, will typically find that they don't know, or they won't acknowledge that the books that they read now within the Bible are hand selected by King James himself and has been heavily edited to fit his lifestyle for what he wanted. And there are a lot of books that are lost. And there's a book out there called The Lost Books of the Bible, and it tells you a lot. It gives you more of a human perspective of these stories, and an understanding of what was respected back then, and you have a better understanding of the practices and how it's supposed to be applied to yourself. So no matter what religion you go into, it is best that instead of just going to a church and letting someone read this to you and you're just like, I read this book, the revelations, the world is going to end, you know, look at it from a different perspective. I always tell people, especially when it comes to the Bible, read it as a normal book. Read the stories, understand the stories. Just like I can tell you the story of the tortoise and the hare, we can get two different perspectives from that. The Bible is the same way. Don't look at it as this is a guide to live my life. Read the stories, connect with the characters, take the lessons that they learn and apply those to your life. Not like this is word. So no matter if it's you're jumping into African spirituality, if you are jumping into Muslim, Judaism. I think for Judaism, you have to like take courses. Let me ask my friendly neighbor Jew, right?
Yeah.
Right. No, for real though, you gotta take courses, right? I think they have to do like a study or something up to it. Right? You don't know.
Shalom.
I don't know. Shalom. Yeah, I think Jews have to, I might be wrong on this, you guys. If I am, just shoot your girl a comment down below so I know. But I think you do have to kind of like study and prepare when you are converting over, I think. But anyway, so just do your research, know what you're jumping into, know like why certain things are in place, understand the history, understand the people, the culture, understand the foods, understand everything, because another person outside of that religion can look at it and call it demonic because it's not what they're accustomed to. It's not who they are. That's not what they're known for. So do your research so you can stand by it. All right. So the next thing I have is be patient with yourself. It takes time and understanding. I grew up in a church, so I think I was in church up until I was maybe 19 or 20. And even then, after like years of having to be like forced to remember scriptures that I don't know to this day, I don't remember. I think I remember the Psalms 23rd scripture vaguely, but you're not going to know everything. You're not going to understand everything. You're not going to be able to absorb it all in a year or 2 years. You know, you have to give yourself some time and be understanding, because with religion, with any practices, there's going to be different teachers with different perspectives, especially in new age religion. There are so many people that takes the law of attraction, let's just use that part. Now I did a video that explained the 12 universal laws. Check that out as well. The 12 universal laws, and many people don't know that there's 12 universal laws. They just, and it's actually more than 12. I think it's 40, but we just highlight the 12. But they focus on the law of attraction. There are so many teachers out here that teach us about the law of attraction. There's so many different perspectives or tools and tips to help people learn how to make it work, because one method isn't going to work for everybody. So if you're taking time and you're studying and you're learning these religions and you're working within something that is new to you, take your time, be patient, and be understanding towards yourself. Give the literature time to soak in, read it again, because in a year it may be a complete different message for you. Now, some of the things that I've been seeing in some of these videos that was quite alarming is manifestation is demonic, and it is a form of witchcraft. And I think that's very funny, because I look at manifestation as simply as you gotta go, you want something, you set a plan to go get it, you're working on your belief system so you can go and get it, and then you get it. There is nothing just magically poof giving it to you like that. It is all you. It is you working with your power, working within your belief system. Now, the occult-ish side comes into it is when you're working with religions that do work with the resources like Mother Nature, the moon cycles, roots, or chanting or stuff like that. That is a little bit different. You're learning how to channel that energy in a different way to manifest what it is that you're asking for. It is no different than you saying, I want to go to the store, I want that red dress, I can't get it, let me put it on layaway and pay it off until I can get it. So the difference is you're saying, okay, I can't get this, I want this, I'm writing my goal down, I'm going to picture myself in it, I'm going to get up and pretend that I have it. I don't see how that is any relation to demonic. One of the videos that I saw, the girl was like, you're supposed to wait until God give you something. I mean, I don't personally feel like waiting until some mysterious Christian God decides to give me something. It doesn't work like that. The fact that it's on this earth is already given to me, and if I can see it, if I want it, I can create it, I can go and get it. I should not have to wait until some God thinks that I'm deserving and worthy of having it. Then what the hell are you living your life for if you can't obtain the things that you want, if you can't be the person that you want to be, if you can't do the things that you want to do? Why are you here? And I think the New Age religion really puts that a little bit simple. Manifestation is not a part of spiritualism. It is not a part of the New Age religion. The New Age religion teaches you how to focus on your mind, your energy, and your beliefs, whereas the techniques come into place. You don't have to do that. You can choose to look at it a different way. You can choose to say, I'm going to pray to God and God's going to help me find a way to do it. There's no different than saying, I'm going to ask the universe to give it to me. There's no difference. Speaking of, that's the next thing I wanted to cover. A lot of people look at using the term the universe or spirit or whatever is a way to denounce God's existence. And I think I've covered this before in another video, but you guys, when I say, like, for me personally, these terms can be used for whatever you choose to use it. I can say God all day and go long, but I mean, I'm talking about your God. I can be talking about what I perceive my God to be. I can say spirit all day long. However, I may say spirit because if I say the name of my spirit guide, you might be like, who the hell is that? Well, can I call this person? This person's crazy, she's naming it. So if I can just say, hey, my spirit guide told me this, because you may have multiple spirit guides. I know typically we all do, but if you are in tune with them, you can say, hey, you know what, my spirit guide John said today, or spirit guide Susie said this today. No, you just kind of to use those things interchangeably. Now I'm going to break this down for the term the universe. A lot of people don't believe in the term God, just as every other religion may say. The Muslims say Allah, oh my god, okay, anyway, each religion has a different name for their God. Every religion has a name for what they consider the higher, the utmost supreme being. Whatever you decide to acknowledge it, it is whatever is easiest for you to do. Now I look at the term the universe like this. I think I gave this example before. I call, like, our God, I always say the creator or the divine spirit. That would be like the creator, okay? I look at the universe as FedEx, UPS, the postal mail service, USPS. That's how I look at the universe. The universe, I am if I am made in God's, I'm gonna come back to that, but if I am made in God's likeness or his image, then if I'm asking for something, I'm expecting the universe to deliver it. The universe is like FedEx or Amazon. It's going to bring it to me. I'm going to place my order online to someone else who's going to give it to me, and they're going to give it to a third party to deliver it to me. That's what I say when I think the universe is going to deliver whatever it is. The universe is that energy. It's a universal energy of connectedness. We're all connected through the universe. Like, we're that energy. So if the universe is just like this big, think of it like a big mail processing center. It's going to say, oh, you know what, I got this gift, let me go ahead and send it down to Queen there. I got this, let me go ahead and send it down to you over there. Let me send this down to you. Oh, the creator decided to create this person to create this laptop that you might have been thinking about because your life is like miserable using this big gigantic old computer. Let me deliver that here in this way, in this form, during this time frame. That's typically how I would use that term. just because you say the universe, the spirit, the divine, the creator, it does not mean you're denouncing God the Father of Christianity, because that's truthfully what we boil back down to it. That's what it is. Now I want to cover this part. We're going to go a little bit deeper into the biblical part of some of the videos that I was seeing, because remember, a lot of the videos I was watching is new age religion back to Christianity, and a lot of people forget that Christianity, aside from new age religion, which really isn't new, Christianity is the youngest religion. Christianity, it just baffles me that people can look at it like the all and be all, but Christianity is literally like the baby of the religions, that was born from Judaism, that was born from Muslims, it was born from all of these things. They just took it and put it into one book. So a lot of people who are Christians, some of the things that I heard was like manifestation is evil, divination is evil, it's not of God. Dream interpretation, ooh, that's evil, that's not of God. A lot of the stuff using herbs, roots, is not of God, it's not from the Bible. I really feel like a lot of Christians don't read their Bibles, because all of that stuff is in that book. No matter if it's the King James version, it's the new edition version, whatever it is, it's in that book. There is in Matthew, it literally tells you, ask and ye shall be given, knocking the door should be open. It tells you pretty much, write it down, make it plain, you will get it. Manifestation is nothing but, Jesus is literally the walk of manifestation. I'm not even gonna say Jesus, but we'll get to that later. But it's literally, he is walking around manifesting things. He is conjuring, turning things from one thing to the next thing. He is healing people with his hand, with roots, with herbs, with his mind. That is all forms of manifestation. That's not and if you will see, even in the Bible, it tells you how they would try to discredit Jesus by bringing other prophets or other people who had those same skills to come and do the same things to prove that he was a fake. If these other people were coming in to do the same things, then it lets you know that we all had that ability to do this. So dream interpretation is the biggest one that's like, that's evil. You don't know where it's coming from. You guys, I think I saw this recently on the Tamar and Get Your Life show with David and Goli thing, but it's just kind of like, literally in the Bible they were interpreting dreams all the time. New Testament, what's the story of the boy with the colorful coat? I don't remember his name, but is it Joseph in the colorful coat? But the boy with the rainbow coat, who brothers tried to, jealous of him, tried to kill him, but they sold him into slavery. He had to go, and I maybe mix the stories up, but I remember he had to interpret his dreams. There was a part where Saul was interpreting dreams. Hell, Jesus was interpreting dreams. So all of these things that people like to nitpick at, like, oh my God, it's evil, it's not of this, it's not of that. All of these things were in these books that were being told, that you're reading continuously, and you're somehow blocking it like it's evil, it's demonic. You know, the Bible, divination is evil. Who the hell do you guys think Moses was talking to in that burning bush? That is a form of divination. Jesus talking to a light, that is a form of divination. Raising the dead, it's just, that's necromancy at its finest. It is all within this book. It may be worded differently from what you may be so used to seeing from today's time, but it's all in these books. And if you take the time and look at it from the book, I know a lot of the terminology can be confusing, but if you try to find one of those modern day books to make it just really, really easy to understand, you can read it as a plain book and you'll be able to say, hey, yeah, Jesus was a witch, right? If that's what you want to say, or he was a root worker, or he was doing something, because that's why they wanted to crucify him, because he was doing stuff that was not like he was supposed to be doing. Sacrifices. Now we don't do sacrifices anymore, but sacrifices were done heavily in there, so much that Muslims and Jews still go about making sure that when they're doing these killings for their food, that they're doing them in the proper way. And what is it called? A law? Is that for both religions?
I believe so, yeah.
I think Allah is for Muslims though.
Not kosher.
Kosher.
Kosher, Allah, that's the same thing.
But yeah, it's the same. And a lot of that came from animal sacrifices when they had to give 10% of their earnings to God. They had to sacrifice these things. It's no different, you know, but you'll look at that and be like, oh, that's what they had to do in the Bible. But then you'll look at like an African spiritualist who's like having to sacrifice a chicken and like, oh my God, that's evil, that's demonic. No, it's no different from what it's already been done and what is still being done. But you guys may not recognize it like that because it's been changed to look a little bit more glamorous. Before you decide to like jump in and criticize stuff as like demonic, or people get really involved in stuff without like knowing. The biggest thing that I'm getting, especially when it comes to the occult, a lot of people want to jump into these religions, these practices, and just overjump like the traditional history, the knowledge, like especially in African, like voodoo and hoodoo and Santeria. You have to do the research. You have to like learn the background to all of it. You have to learn all of this, the background, before you can even get started, before the initiation even starts. You have to know that you know these things. But a lot of people want to jump right in and they like call themselves like the expert on it, or they want to like anoint themselves as priests and hide this and hide that, and they haven't been in it long enough. They don't even know like the basics of why they're doing what they're doing. Another thing I saw, ancestral altars have nothing to do with spiritualism. Ancestor work is completely separate from any of that. Yes, it does fall within some of the occult things, only because your ancestors are your first line of protection. And if you don't know what that is, I have a few series of ancestor videos that you can check out when I go over what ancestors are, how to set up altars, all that good stuff. But yeah, ancestor altars are just you you're working with your relatives. Just think of it like a big family reunion for some people you know and some people you don't know. But yeah, people are like ancestor altars are like evil. I don't see as you guys can see, like some of these videos were so cringy, like I could barely get through like 5 or 10 minutes of it, because I really feel like a lot of it, if they had taken the opportunity to learn, if they had taken the opportunity to really get good mentors and a better understanding of what it is that they wanted to, especially their intentions on why they were doing it. And that's why I feel like a lot of people are going, some of the ones are going back to Christianity, is because of that fear, that continuous fear of, I'm gonna burn in hell, I'm gonna go to hell, I'm gonna go to hell. And it's just like, every other religion for the most part doesn't have a hell, but Christianity somehow does. But that'll be another video for another day. But you know, I think a lot of it is fear driven, and that's when I'll see these videos. A lot of the women are like, oh my God, I didn't want to go to hell, I didn't want to be punished. Now, like I said, the one with my favorite YouTuber, I gave her the credit. I watched I think a good half of her video, because it was like an hour and 30 minutes. So I gave her the benefit of the doubt because she had a lot more information, she had a lot more knowledge, and it was good to see her perspective on it. Although I do feel as if she should probably do a lot more research. She should probably have a better understanding of why she was doing what she did, because it's kind of like, and then truthfully speaking, she ran from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing, because she was confused and she was trying to find a way to fulfill herself, create the life that she wanted. So she was just going from one thing to the next thing, and then I think somewhere along the line she just got lost. So even though she finds Christianity, again, that's perfect, you know, hopefully she's learning enough to stick to it and understand what she's doing within that religion and why she's choosing that religion. I hate to see people pick religion out of fear. Even when it comes to African spirituality, my biggest pet peeve with seeing that is people picking it because they think the power of like being able to do stuff to other people negatively, that gives them that right because they're in that practice. And I cannot stand it. Like, it's not just about that. It's not just about a power or a fear. So you have to, you know, pick religion, or because your parents told you to go do it and it's just like, that's all I know, I gotta be a Christian, I gotta be Hinduism, I gotta do this, you know. It's not that, you know. Every part of religion focus on spirituality because, like I said, there's no way to separate them. You know, you just kind of have to make sure you are being mindful of what you're feeding yourself, being mindful, continuously learning. Things are changing. You don't have to fall for every little thing, but you can definitely pick something, stay rooted in it, learn it, because it's going to take you half your life to make sure you fully understand it, and then you're not going to understand it again after that. So just like some of these older people with Christianity, they don't really understand half the stuff that they're reading. Just like, the Bible said, you know. It's kind of like, you want to read that again? I saw something completely different. All right, you guys, so that is it for this video. I just really hope that, I know it's probably all over the place with this one because I just wasn't as organized with this video as I normally am, but I really hope you guys are doing your research. I really hope that you guys are learning the history or whatever you are choosing. I really hope that you guys are, stop making YouTube videos on from New Age to Christianity with the wrong information, because a lot of these videos be having the wrong information. If you had just opened a book, going to the right person, a right teacher, a right mentor, someone who's been in it for a while, I think you would have found a lot of different things. Yeah, I think it would have been a very different journey for you. Nothing, if anything is teaching you to not believe in yourself, if anything is teaching you to doubt yourself, or to not to put the power in your own hands to be who you want to be, you guys, I would run away from it like hot grits on fire. Like, just go, because that's just ridiculous. I don't think you should be a part of anything or anybody or with something that is going to diminish your light. Be who you are, shine bright, because you are created in God's image. Be a God. You are a God, because I'm a God, right? All right, you guys, that is it for today, and love and light. If you have enjoyed this video, if you have seen some of these crazy videos out here that are YouTube keep recommending to me, comment down below, let me know what you think about some of this, because like I said, it's cringy for me to watch. I don't think I'm going to watch any more of them, but until next time, that is all. You guys have a blessed day.